As a simple golden ring is tossed into Frodo's fireplace, elven runes light up across its surface, as though they were written with the fires themselves.
One ring to rule them all. One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all. And in the darkness, find them.
Runes have always been more than just pretty enigmatic symbols. Throughout our own histories, runes have evolved to be more than just the written word. They were vessels of power, magic, and mystery. And in modern fantasy, runes have come to embody the boundless possibilities of magic and enchantment, often transforming mundane objects into powerful artifacts of legend. And now, the power of runes is yours to wield, regardless of class or magical potential. All you need is but the knowledge, coin, and a flair for this magical art. Imagine inscribing your weapon with a rune of fire, causing every strike to burst into flames, or crafting armor that offers protection by absorbing elemental magic. From now on in your games, runes will be more than just pretty symbols and decoration. They will become expressions of your character's mastery over magic, their history, and their journey. By incorporating runecrafting into your world, you invite players to tap into an ancient magical form, imbuing their items with essence of the arcane. With each rune they carve, they will not only be just altering their equipment, they're crafting their very own legacy. Will they carve runes of destruction, protection, utility, or alteration? The choice is theirs. Runes offer endless possibility for character growth, customization, and narrative depth. Whether it's forging a legendary ring in the heart of a volcano, or adding an additional rune to a collection of many that decorate a family heirloom, the world of runecrafting is one where adventure meets creativity, and every adventure is written in the language of magic. But the art of runecrafting is both complex and costly. Carving a single rune will not only require you to have a large enough collection of wealth, but also slay powerful creatures so that you can harness the essence of their potential and infuse it into the runes that you craft, imbuing them with life. Through centuries of arcane studies, enchanters have discovered that gold and precious gemstones are excellent conductors of arcane energies, and that they have a natural ability for embodying the power of a written word, in particular, true names. Due to the laws of names, if one can learn something's true name, they can hold power over it, but only for a short time. However, if you were to form this true name out of gold or gemstones, you could alter this subject permanently. All it would then need is a life force to infuse into it and give it purpose, sentience, and a target to latch onto. This is the art of runecraft. But before we jump into it, have you ever wished for a simple way to recap your TTRPG sessions? Some beautiful, all-encompassing, narrated experience topped with a dynamite musical score? Well then, Scribe might be for you. This incredibly intelligent program takes your recorded session audio and converts it into just that in like 10 minutes.
Last session, you began your adventure in Neverwinter, where Gundren Rockseeker hired you to escort a wagon of supplies to Phandalin, promising each of you 10 gold pieces upon delivery.
And now it's got this new third-person perspective also available if perhaps you stream your games online to an audience. All you do is upload the audio file from your previous session, and it doesn't matter about background, crisp rattling noises, or snack breaks, or little conversations off to the side. Scribe is super smart and will focus on the key story at hand. And also, your recaps will always be suitable to uploading to Discord, even with Discord's new 10 megabyte limit, so you can easily share it with your friends. Also, be rest assured that Scribe will immediately and permanently delete any recordings after it's finished doing its thing. And on top of all that, what's very important to me with this new AI software is that all the music featured in Scribe is created by real composers with their full permission and proper credit on the site. And while most voices are completely synthesized, the ones that are based on real voice actors have been made with their explicit permission. And if Scribe interests you, you can check it out at www.scribequill.com or by clicking the link in the description. The first recap is completely free when you first sign up, and there's no pesky subscriptions with this site. You simply buy what you want when you want. It's $20 for 5 recaps and $40 for 10 plus 2 more free additional bonus recaps. Thank you so much again to Scribe for sponsoring this video, and I recommend that you all go check out Scribe, even just to try out that one free recap and see what it's like. It's so impressive, really. But for now, let's go back and see what I've cooked up for rune crafting. Each rune that I've designed in this free document below will have a cost written in their description. This cost indicates how much gold or how many gemstones worth an equivalent amount of gold must be broken down through smelting, cutting, or grinding into dust in order to form the rune itself. Alongside this, the cost also represents the amount of creature materials from a creature whose total XP values add up to the rune's cost must be used to create the rune. So, to summarize, if you know how to write a particular rune, you must have a certain amount of gold or gold's worth of gemstones equal to its cost listed in the rune's description. Along with this, you need materials from creatures whose combined XP total equals the cost listed in that same description. Then, throughout a long rest using jewelers, smiths, or tinker's tools, you can create one of those runes and imbue it into an item of your choice. For example, Godmode the Goblin wants to make his lovely new sword stab just a little bit better, so he's going to imbue it with a level 1 rune of might. This rune has a cost of 250, so Godmode will spend 250 gold, as well as offering a tooth of a recently slain direwolf and the hair of a fellow goblin. The XP of these 2 fallen creatures would come to a total of 250 experience exactly, and thus the rune of might is formed. For those who like simplicity of narrative when it comes to these things, you could just say that the materials used turn into a magical arcane light that gets sucked up into the rune. But for anyone really into the narrative of creation, a few ways I would infuse monster materials into my rune would be maybe soaking the rune in, say, blood, ichor, or the ectoplasm of that creature. Perhaps galvanizing the rune with the creature's smelted bones, scales, or claws. Or you could dust the rune with a powdered version of the material and then superheat it so that it forms this beautiful enamel finish. And so now, for those of you about to forge your first rune, just know that there are a few limitations to their power. Number 1, you can't benefit from multiple runes at the same time. So no rune-roiding yourself with cheap strength buffs. I know you people. And also it'll shrink your PP, so just don't do it. It's bad. And number 2 is that any items infused with runes must be attuned to, but you don't have to attune to each individual rune. And then number 3, there is a limit to how many runes one person can put on an item. And I've also made precautions too for all of you out there who want to make some sort of peasant cannon out of this and have every member of a town put 1 rune on a hat so that you all have a god hat.
I summon Pot of Greed to draw 3 additional cards from my deck, and I summon Pot of Greed to draw 3 additional cards from my deck.
I know you guys because I am you, and I have all you guys as my players. No powerful hats, no hat that has a gazillion runes carved by a bazillion peasants or whatever, so that when you put on the hat, you become a god. Is not, there's limitations there.
You know what's coming. Magical hats!
As for the runes you'll be able to create, you've got your classic runes that grant a +1, +2, or +3, and these are known as runes of might and runes of protection. with the first being for weapons and the latter being for armors, shields, and clothing. But also, we have runes that allow you to tap into the hidden potential of creatures that you've slain. When a rune of latent power is infused into a weapon, it will allow that weapon to deal additional damage based on the creature materials that you infused into that rune. I even made a whole Pokemon type chart thing, so go check that out. It's based on every creature type. So for example, aberrations hold the potential to infuse a weapon with psychic energies, while fiends hold the potential to have weapons deal necrotic or fire damage. There's even a section dedicated to different types of giants, since giants have such a strong connection with runes in general. Similarly, there are runes of latent protection, which will also grant you resistance or immunity to one of these damage types based on the rune's level. But what if you don't want to go around slaying monsters, or perhaps you have a surplus of gemstones lying around? Well, with the rune of elemental infusion, you can forgo the need to use creature materials when crafting these runes, and instead all you need are gemstones of the same type that have a total value in gold equal to the required cost of the rune being made. And I've even gone through every single gemstone out there in D&D and assigned them to different damage types. So aquamarines, coral, and sapphire are all connected to cold damage, while garnets, rubies, and obsidian all connect to the fire damage type, both providing protection against it and also allowing one to wield it. Runes of ability allow you to permanently boost one of your ability scores, and again have a particular creature you need to slay in order to grant you their powers. So for example, fiends and dragons can boost your charisma, while giants and celestials are needed to bolster your strength. So now you rune roiders out there have something to look forward to. I like the term rune roiders. I'm just imagining a bunch of these jacked wizards playing basketball somewhere absolutely riddled with runes. But also there are so many more, and I'm very curious what you would do to implement these runes into your own games. Honestly, I'm just super happy with the lore I've designed around these runes, but would you change anything? And if you like this so far, give me a little like and subscribe, but you don't have to if you don't want to. And I'm also curious, would you allow anyone to write any rune they like, or would each rune have to be discovered individually? I just really like the narrative here and the potential for that, having each rune designated to a particular location or quest. Maybe the party have to go on some massive quest to find the rune of Ultima or something, which can destroy some big bad evil thing. And on their journey, they meet people and hear rumors about these runes and find that they're all stashed away in these legendary locations. And then each time they hunt down this rune, it's still not the Ultima rune, but it is a very powerful rune in its own right. And then maybe throughout their journey, they learn there is no single all-powerful Ultima rune, but the collection of runes they've made along the way, and that they've been imbuing maybe into one legendary sword, or each piece of their mundane equipment and gear collectively allows them to become powerful enough to defeat this ancient evil or seal it away. I don't know, I just think that's really cool. I just think these runes have so much potential for stories. Like the flavor alone of runes is such a cool concept to me. I love in ancient Nordic culture how they just wrote runes on everything. And maybe that could also be a premise for a campaign. Maybe there's no material price to write or create runes. You can paint a rune of flying on a boat and it'll allow it to hover just a little bit, but it's taboo to ever place runes onto flesh. But doing so is the only way to unlock their full potential. But with each rune given to a creature, a part of them is also taken away. Ooh, it's so cool. I love it. Would you run in one of these games? I'm super curious. What kind of ways would you implement runes into your games? What kind of campaign premise would you build around them? Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. I hope you like it. I think it's a super juicy set of mechanics. And like I said, please consider, if you can, to give me a like or subscribe. I love to be able to give you all these cool homebrews for free. But also, if I could just ask for anything in return, it would be that that you share these videos around with your friends or fellow players or DMs, as it really helps a lot, and it helps these videos do much better and allows me to pay for electricity, for example. And if you want even more homebrews like this one, you should have a look over on my Patreon and see what I've been cooking up over there. And thank you to everyone over on my Patreon who have been supporting me and just allowing me to do this for a living. Honestly, you are my lifeblood, and I can never thank you enough for that. And right about now, there should be some cool videos popping up. Like, I've made a bunch of stuff on like smithing, alchemy, and cooking if you've really enjoyed that kind of stuff, like crafting mechanics. I also think you'd love any of these videos that are here on the screen. And in the future, I'm hoping to make a One Piece video, hopefully. So do subscribe if you don't want to miss that One Piece video that I am working on. It's nearly here. But that's all for me for now. And I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful week doing whatever you're doing. Much love to you all. Goodbye.